I just found out that my husband is storing sealed jars of his diarrhea.
Keeping your poop in a jar till the day you come back.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into r/FemaleDatingStrategy. You know, I came in here thinking that I was gonna see a bunch of memes, but no, it's people that are actually trying to give advice. Trying being the operative word there. The advice is overall really horrible. I don't think any of the people posting here, or I guess I say the women posting here, understand what it means to have a healthy relationship dynamic. They're all out here looking for a high-value man that they can disrespect. But the truth is, any man that values himself highly will not put up with that disrespect. So instead, they're like going after betas without knowing they're going after betas, and then they complain about the fact that they ended up with a beta. It's really an anomaly. I have gone down the rabbit hole with this subreddit, done a lot of research. I don't know if it's going to be like funny, really. It ended up being more like a think piece, but maybe that's okay too. I guess you guys will let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Let's go ahead, we'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this female dating strategy, a cringe. All right, so as we take the plunge, I do want you guys to keep in the back of your mind, like, what if the genders were reversed? Would you be at all okay with a man saying these types of things about women? And if you're a normal person, the answer is, of course not. These posts are all horrible. So let's dive right in. Breaking news, being single is better than being with most men. I mean, if you're happy single, that's cool. But the true irony of this whole situation is that obviously these women aren't happy being single. It's called female dating strategy, you see. So here we go. Listen, ladies, I hate to say this as much as you hate to hear it, but the real tea is that most men are just the fucking worst. You seem slightly salty, but please tell me more. Go on any dating app and they're just trashy, overly sexual, disrespectful ass garbage. Go out to meet guys in person and most of them are too timid to leave their bros long enough to even make an effort. Are you really basing all that on a dating app? Yeah, of course people are trashy and overly sexual on a dating app. That's kind of what it's for, as far as I'm aware. I've seen women be disrespectful and trashy on dating apps as well. So are we just painting all of humanity? That seems like the easiest way to do it, the most fair way. As far as leaving their bros, yeah, I see women bunched up together all the time, safety in numbers type of stuff. Maybe it does make more sense for women, but essentially, they are just wanting to be pursued without having to offer anything in return or get out of their comfort zone. And it is such a toxic mindset to have. Most men are intellectually brain dead. I know like 2 guys that actually read books that aren't manga. Yeah, I think that's a problem with society as a whole. Again, it's quite interesting to me that this woman doesn't actually have anything intellectual to say. She's just sitting here complaining about how other people aren't up to her intellectual standards. Tell me something, OP. What was the last book that you read? Why don't we have a conversation about that? Are you actually out there reading books or just complaining that other people don't read them enough? And I already know the answer to that question. Most guys are boring and would rather play Red Dead 2 until their balls develop bed sores rather than going out and going on adventures. I think guys like adventure just as much as anybody else does. However, in my experience, yeah, dudes are a lot more chill as far as like staying at home and just not feeling the need to do something every second of the day. It's like this one comedian I was listening to talked about how Men's brains are just a series of different boxes, while women's brain is like a box with a tangled wires inside of it, and everything is connected to something else. Woman gets out of bed, they're like, what am I gonna eat for dinner tonight? Man gets out of bed, he's like, okay, I'm out of bed. Taking one thing at a time. Playing Red Dead 2 essentially equates to a box that has nothing in it, you know? Men can just sit in the nothing box and not really think too hard about anything at all. I'm sure there are some women that are capable of that out there, but in my experience, they are few and far between. My wife enjoys adventure a heck of a lot more than I do, and that's fine. I'll go on adventures with her. She can also go on adventures by herself. That's okay. But you tell me this, any adventure that we go on, is it going to be more exciting and fun than rounding up outlaws and lassoing them and robbing a dude with a handgun and stealing his horse? No. Real life is cool, but I'll tell you, video games are pretty cool too. That's why they compete for my attention. Does it make me boring? Maybe. How about this? How about trying to step into my world and see what makes Red Dead Redemption 2 so appealing, rather than just complaining about it endlessly and hoping that this dude will pick a complaining woman over a video game where he gets to LARP as a cowboy or whatever. Essentially, your strategy here is just to shoot yourself in the foot, right? I'm not going to make this like a gender binary type of thing, men versus women, and say, oh, guys are more curious about the world. I think both sexes are curious about the world, but they just tend to explore it in different ways. The world is not so black and white as this entire subreddit would have you believe. Most guys aren't even that attractive, and the ones that are rarely put in effort anyways. This one is like right out of the nice guy, nice girl playbook, isn't it? Oh, well, you're not up to my standards. You're unattractive anyways. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I'd like to see a pic of the OP so we could go down that rabbit hole, but I'm not trying to attack anybody personally. Attack the argument, not the person, all right? Oh, I kind of missed this one. Most guys are uncreative and lack curiosity about the world. They'd rather go to Vegas every year than travel to other cultures. Wow, you're so cultured, OP. Oh my God. How many countries have you been to? Why don't you answer me that? We could really compare notes, and I could just about guarantee that I would win if we're competing. I've been to every continent except for Africa and Antarctica, I guess. And why did I do those things? Largely because I was curious. As far as being uncreative, I mean, where's your YouTube channel? We can compare notes on that too. Do I make the most creative content on the platform? Definitely not. But I would argue that my content is a lot more creative than just a bitching post complaining about how men aren't good enough. All I see here is just a bunch of projection. Why don't you turn the spotlight back on yourself for 5 seconds and see how you stack up against these things that you apparently can't do without in a relationship, right? Most guys would leave you for someone hotter if they could, because they think they deserve a supermodel and not just you. I'm sorry you've had that experience, but I think that looks had very little to do with whatever man's decision to leave you, all right? The way she's sitting here laying all this out, could you put up with this day in and day out? God, I know I couldn't. I gotta get up and out. Like I said, it's much like the title of the post says. Yeah, I think being single is better than dating this woman. I couldn't do it, dude. I won't say that, you know, there aren't a lot of shallow dudes out there. There surely are. But guess what? There's a lot of shallow chicks as well. We're seeing that displayed right now. Most guys are shit at sex, and they absolutely couldn't give a fuck if you have a good time or not. Again, I'm sorry for your experience. Obviously, you haven't been able to connect with somebody in that way, and that's sad. Honestly, what you're doing here is just shuffling off every bit of blame like, oh, I didn't have a good sexual experience because this guy is bad at it. When really, the most healthy thing, the hottest thing that you could do for your sex life is have an open conversation about it. I guarantee you that that dude or chick, if you're on the other side of the spectrum, will try their best in order to please their partner. That's just human nature. However, you have to come at it in an open, respectful way, not this condescending crap that like, hey, it's your fault. You have to do me better. It's a two-way street, isn't it? Get over yourself. Most dads are negligent, not in their kids' lives, or are only doing it because they have to. Wow, that is not to say anything of negligent mothers. Parenting is a hard thing, all right? Sometimes dad wants a break, sometimes mom wants a break. In an ideal situation, everybody gets a break. But it also loops back to the communication that I mentioned earlier. How hard is it to be like, hey, I need to do this thing. Can you take the kids for an hour or two? Okay, I got it. Instead, you just sit there and seethe that the guy is enjoying his time in the nothing box instead of, having an open conversation about it. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody here is a mind reader. Just be an adult and ask people for what you want. If they refuse, okay, then you have a legitimate grievance. But sitting there just deciding to die mad about this is not the way to go. I say all this to say, be happy by your fucking self. I hope you are too, OP. But from the vibe of this whole post, I don't have high hopes for that. Live your best life. Be prepared to grow up and grow old with your bad bitch friends, your vibrator, your pets, the 401k that you've built up your damn self, and the kids that you've had and or adopted that you raise on your terms, but only if you choose to. Oh God, what a miserable way to go through life. You really don't want a partner to share all of this stuff with? The truth is, deep down, you probably do. You've convinced yourself that you don't because you've been hurt a few times too many, which is made exceedingly clear by this post that advocates staying single in female dating strategy, right? So I do think OP is out there trying to date still, but they're not finding any success at it because of all the aforementioned reason. And so they're trying to convince other people that, you know what, being single is probably better anyways. Like I said, whatever you got to tell yourself, I wholeheartedly do not believe that is the truth. It is amazing to have a co-pilot, somebody that you love and respect and can talk to about basically anything that's going on, somebody to share your experiences with, someone that you can, build a life with. And surely you can build a life by yourself. That's absolutely fine if that's what you choose. But I don't think that's what you're actually choosing. It is a role that you have been forced to take on. And I do have some amount of sympathy for that. I hope you do find the right one eventually. But that is also going to require a lot of changes within yourself. You need to look inwardly and see why the mindset you have isn't necessarily working out. But she continues, if you're waiting for a man to grow up or grow into yourself before you start living the life you've dreamed of, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, this woman's doing it right for sure. Everybody follow her lead. A good man should enhance what you've created, not be the foundation of the life that you want to build. Which sounds like a great statement on the surface, except for the fact that you are looking for a man to provide. I dug through so many posts on female dating strategy that's just like, ooh, she's a stay-at-home mom, let's look down on her. Ooh, he's a stay-at-home dad, let's look down on her. Essentially, a lot of the OPs that I've seen in this subreddit just want to kind of exist in a vacuum and have money funneled towards them and resources without having to actually output any effort in return. And then when the dude gets fed up with this one-way street relationship and leaves, the other female dating strategy people gather around and go, oh, that's okay. He wasn't good enough for you, queen. Much like incels, they're basically feeding into each other's delusions, and it's horrifying to watch. Incels are a lot more hate-filled and off-putting on the surface, but you peel back just one layer of female dating strategy and you're just like, Jesus Christ, how can these people be so unhappy and attempt to drag others into their unhappiness? Misery loves company, I guess is what it is. The harsh reality is, as we adjust our standards to see the state of men for what they really are, and not, and not just the lies that they tell us so they can fuck us. You've really just boiled it down to this black and white viewpoint, and I don't know how a person can go through life like this. How do you exist if you can't see any shades of gray? Some of us are gonna stay single rather than settle for a melty-faced, flabby piece of shit who thinks that you're lucky that he's willing to bang you. God damn, dude. What if you flip that sentence to the inverse? They're like, wow, this is so misogynistic and hate-filled. Well, basically, anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together can see that this is 100% misandry. Like I said right at the beginning, stay single if that is really what makes you happy. But I can tell just from this post that that is not truly what you would choose. It's better to meet a good man at 50 than it is to settle for a shitty man at 20. It's better to have no man at all than it is to constantly compromise on what makes you happy. Get well and good with staying single, and men no longer have power over your future, allowing you to easily and happily walk away from their low-value bullshit. Where are all of these 50-year-old high-value men gonna come from? Do you think the low-value 20-year-old shifts into a high-value 50-year-old? I mean, yeah, maybe, but a lot of them are already married and or dead. It's just not gonna happen the way that you're painting it. I'm not advocating that anybody settle for a relationship. Don't settle for anything in your life. But the only way that you will truly be happy and content with yourself is by bringing yourself up and not bringing others down. You know what I'm saying? That's what this whole post has been, just dragging men down for the dumbest shit in the world. Oh, you don't read enough books. You play Red Dead Redemption 2 too much. Like, okay, you've not offered any sort of alternative. All you have done is complain about it. That doesn't make you better than anybody. It only makes you more insufferable than the people that you're complaining about. I'm glad that that dude is able to enjoy some video games. I'm glad that that dude doesn't feel the need to force himself into some adventure. But again, it's a two-way street. My wife loves adventuring, and I will pull myself out of my shell and go adventuring with her because a relationship is a two-way street. I enjoy being around her. She enjoys being around me. She could go adventuring by herself, but isn't it more fun to go with the person that you're in love with? Yes, of course it is. You think I would go out and do this by myself? I definitely wouldn't. I'd stay in the nothing box. But because I've spent years with her and now understand our relationship dynamic a bit more, we have found a happy medium. So we don't need to lay down in the dirt and go, oh, I guess I'm just gonna die single. Learn to compromise. It's really not as hard as it seems. I hope no women are out there taking this shit post seriously. Oh, here's another one that would be fun to flip the genders on, all right? Reminder, we don't want to hear about your kinks, or how much you love kink, or how sorry you feel for men with tiny dicks, and how women should have to date them. Message from the moderators. We don't want to hear about your kinks, so keep it to yourself or post on one of the many subreddits friendly to that. And stop shaming women who don't want to be with a dude who has a 3-inch or less dick. Don't tell her she can just use a strap-on. Women are allowed to want normal penises that they can actually feel inside of them. We will be handing out temporary and possibly permanent bans for this behavior. Oh, body shaming. Yes, here we go. Do you think a man can help what penis he is born with? No. Maybe it's too big. Maybe it's too small. Maybe that just means that you guys aren't sexually compatible, which is okay. What's not okay is going out in public and shaming dudes about it. Or how about we try the inverse of that? You know, she's got too much gut for me. Is that okay? Or would that be totally shallow and horrible of a guy to say? People are allowed to have sexual preferences, of course, but you don't go around and flaunt them. You don't shame a person that you went on a date with and be like, yeah, I'd totally go back to your place, but I'm not attracted to you because your fucking gut is too big. Like, that doesn't feel good for anybody. Some dudes are born with a micro penis, and they can't really help that, you know? I don't think it helps to body shame them about it. I'm sure they already have somewhat of a complex. Is it equality that we're going for here? Because I'm sure you wouldn't like equality in this situation. And the truth is that the entire subreddit is not about equality one little bit. Let's go ahead and look at rule 3 in the subreddit. All advice should focus on maximum female benefit. All comments and posts should be focused on how the woman can derive maximum benefit for herself and herself only. Mutual benefit should be a byproduct, not a goal. God, what are you talking about? That is about the worst thing that somebody could say. And it's openly advertised. But yeah, go off, I guess. Rip on this dude for having a micro penis, I guess. The mutual benefit as a byproduct here is the fact that he will no longer have to interact with a total bitch that can't accept him for who he is, right? God, this subreddit just gets my blood boiling so quick. I cannot actually believe that there are 240,000 people out there that saw this and went, yeah, this is great advice. I'm gonna live my life this way. Ugh, you're all disgusting. I hope I never have to interact with any one of you ever. God.
Men will tell you exactly what they're up to if you just pay attention. I've been dissecting my latest car crash date and realizing something about it that was distinctive.
Oh yeah, tell me all about it, Sherlock. Here we go.
The guy stated that he took a long time to decide if he liked someone. Oh, he also revealed to me that he left his girlfriend of 2.5 years and upset her family in the process, who probably thought that they were gonna get married. Right there is where I should have stopped even caring what he said next, because he was basically telling me bluntly with those 2 pieces of information that he most likely will not ever get serious with me.
How many dates have you been on with this guy? It seems like you're jumping the gun just a little bit. First date, he's never gonna get serious. Let's just go. Can't people just have fun and date each other? I've had relationships that were years long, and we both sort of just agreed that, yeah, it was mutually beneficial. This post is like diametrically opposed to the first post. So I guess your choices are stay single forever or get married right now. This whole subreddit is like a schizophrenic nightmare. What is happening here? Oh, so
if a guy says he takes a while to decide if he likes someone, or words to that effect, or like, let's see where things go, etc., do not fall for it. It's a tactic. What he means is that he knows he's really not that into you, but he would continue to date you and string you along. Men know straight away pretty much if they like a girl or not. Don't fall for the let's just see where things go tactic. Also, pay very close attention to what he says about his previous relationship. If he wasted her time, he will do the same to you.
Well, spending time together, I guess, is just a waste of time. We both agreed to this fucking date. Why are you even here if it's just a waste of time? To see if I'll marry you on the first meeting or not? You're out of your mind. Let's just see where things go is a very healthy thing to say. If it's happening, for years and okay, you feel like your time is being wasted, you're perfectly within your rights to get out of the relationship. But there are a lot of people out there that are fine with, let's just see how things go. Who is gonna commit to marriage like this? What are you expecting to happen on this first date? Obviously, he likes you at least a little bit if you're even on the goddamn date, right? So I don't understand what exactly the signal you're waiting for is. That he is actually interested and serious about you. Really, there's no such thing as wasted time because the time is gonna fucking pass anyways. Whether you're at home knitting and petting your cats or whether you're on a series of dates with these low-value men. At least with the latter option, you get more of an idea of what it is that you definitely are not looking for, right? I mean, maybe the dude really does have no intention of commitment, and if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, you can jet on out at any point. But to see these two extreme posts fairly close to each other, it really boggles the mind. Okay, I'm gonna stay single forever. But I went out on this date and he didn't want to marry me tonight. So I guess just revert back to being single forever. It doesn't make any sense. Are you hungry for male attention or not? Just make up your mind. I mean, I do realize that these are posts made by different people, but when the subreddit as a whole can rarely, if ever, come to a consensus, that seems pretty ridiculous. That's pretty telling, is it not? Hey, here's a short and sweet, fucking humorless meme regarding Corona. What are all the gym lads gonna do now that their personality is gone? Oh, they go to the gym. Obviously, that's their whole personality, is it not? See, they want to point the finger at dudes for painting all women with a certain brush when they're out here doing the exact same thing to dudes. Specifically, in this case, dudes that go to the gym. That hypothetical dude might come home after bench pressing 600 pounds and crack open War and Peace. You know, you don't really know what that guy is up to dehumanize him, to boil him down and be like, well, that's his whole personality. What a horrible take. What if we boiled down every user of FemaleDatingStrategy into one personality? How about that? Yeah, she just walks around, pretends like she doesn't need no man while also desperately seeking a man, you know? It's so dumb. They're only out here dunking on dudes to make themselves feel better. And as I said much earlier in the video, that is not the way to elevate yourself by bringing others down. Step your game up. These gym bros, I'm not necessarily fond of them, but I don't claim to know their entire personality just because I saw them at the gym one time. Obviously, this is an older post, but I do think that it's very indicative of the way that FemaleDatingStrategy users as a whole look at men. You want to extract everything that you can while also berating them, dehumanizing them, telling them that they're not doing enough, and again, like I said much earlier on, that's only going to net you beta simps. Real alphas, they're going to stick around for that shit. I guess that's presuming that there is such a thing as alphas and betas, which kind of brings us back to neckbeard content, but I don't know, man. This is just a wild ride to be on. I will say that much. Come on over, let's cuddle. Friday night, my phone lit up with a text from G. We met at a party a few weeks ago and hit it off. Hey, what are you doing? He's trying to make a last-minute plan, but I'm bored and willing to go out since we live in the same apartment building. Nothing, just studying a bit, I reply. Wanna come over and watch a movie? Let's cuddle.
I retched. Cuddle? Ultimate red flag word for me. If we're not fucking, I don't want to cuddle. If you're not taking me out, I don't want to see you. Red at 10:02 p.m. Oh, God.
Sounds to me like he's the one that dodged the bullet. If you're not taking me out, I don't want to see you. And that about sums it up. About the biggest red flag that a woman could fly. Of course, she never said that to him. She just kept quiet, left him on red. Ooh, yeah, that's telling him. Instead of having an open, honest conversation about your needs and expectations in a relationship, you might as well just leave him on red and then come make a stupid post about him on Reddit. Does this make you feel better? Does this improve your life in any way? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say absolutely no, it doesn't. You know what happened to G? He texted somebody else who was willing to cuddle, and yeah, the cuddle probably did turn into banging because that's what cuddling actually means, right? She just didn't want to give up the goose without going on a date. Which again, is fine. Everybody gets their own choice of what to do in these matters. But if you're looking for a different result simply by not speaking to anybody after that, how are they gonna know? You think G is a mind reader? He's probably gonna see you, whatever, out at a party or in the same apartment building that you guys live in and be like, oh, hey, what's up? Not know that anything is wrong. And over here, this bitch is just seething, ready to boil because he's not acknowledging that she left him on red. Oh. How is it even possible to be this disconnected from like any part of the human experience? What is going on with you? Stop it. Get some help. Jesus.
Update. Good morning. I had a change of heart and I'm not going to go over to that guy's house tonight because it's just going to be torture. I want to take care of myself and my heart, and any guy that isn't instantly in love with me is a big idiot, and I don't need that energy in my life. Yeah, girl, OMG, hella freaking proud of you, baby. That's a big power move. Heck yeah, love that for you, huh?
Any guy that isn't instantly in love with me. God, the dichotomy on this subreddit. Hey, stay single forever unless he's instantly in love with you. You think any guy is gonna fall instantly in love with you if you decide to just string him along like this? It's pretty apparent that nobody here is serious about anybody else, and okay, if we've both decided to move on, that's fine. But this woman is expecting him to instantly fall in love with her, or else she doesn't even want to try. Does that ever happen? Stop watching fucking movies. Is it TV shows or something that have ruined your mind to this point? Perhaps a bit too much time spent on female dating strategy? I'd really like to see just one good example come out of female dating strategy. One woman that is completely fulfilled with the advice that female dating strategy has given her. But the truth is, it's never gonna happen. It's just a collection of miserable hags being miserable, encouraging each other to be miserable, trying to make people around them, male or female, even more miserable. And as a YouTuber, even just sitting here reading it, I'm feeling pretty fucking miserable myself. I want to reach out, you know, I want to fix them, tell them that it's okay, it's not that serious, but they ain't gonna listen to me anyways because I got a penis. Scrote is what they call it. Hey, let's go over here. We'll check out some flair for some of these female dating strategy posts. We've got discussion, strategy, male depravity. Nice for what? Rant, lies men tell, queen shit, nah sis, level up, mood for life, sex strategy, porn sick, limp dick. I mean, that one actually is pretty applicable. I ain't gonna tell you how to live your life, but give up the pornos, fellas. We got roast a scrote, which, if you didn't know, scrote is their term for males. You see, because we have a scrotum. Very classy. Message from moderators, scrotation report, book report, global resistance.
Hashtag kick him out 2021.
God, I should explore this one just a little bit more. Probably one hashtag kick him out and one roast a scrote, and then I'll just leave this episode here and see if people can stomach any more, because I'm not necessarily sure that I can. This is a fucking ride.
My high-value boyfriend turned into a low-value fiance. I need help on how to leave.
Well, gee, isn't that weird how that happened? What is the only thing that changed between him being your boyfriend and him becoming your fiance? Huh, maybe you felt like you had him locked down, stopped putting in the effort. Essentially, every relationship is just a mirror, right? Whatever you put into it, that's what you're gonna get out of it. I think that's the problem. I haven't read the post quite yet, but let's see if that is applicable here.
The mask slipped, and I am seeing all the signs.
I'm turning more and more into his nagging mother than a partner. Yeah, right. I don't think either of you is enjoying that.
I know it's time to go, but it's hard. I'm financially independent. I also now make almost double what he does, even when we first started dating. So, like, money isn't the issue. We live together and it's his place, but I could very easily move in with my mom.
Women.
Financially independent, though. Holy shit, man. I'm not even gonna unpack it yet. That's fine. Let's keep rolling.
She's also aware I want to leave and is fully supporting me, doing what it will take to make me happy. So I totally have a place to go. It's the emotional toll that I'm really dreading. We're halfway through with the wedding planning, thousands in deposits that I'm gonna lose, FML. I've never really broken up with anyone that I was in a stable relationship with. From the outside, we look like we're doing great, but it's all the invisible labor he heaps onto me now that I won't be able to tolerate for the next 20 years of my life. I just don't know where to start. How to tell friends and other family, or how to talk to him. Yeah, how to talk to him. That is the root of the problem, is it not? I'm sure all of these things could be fixed with some healthy adult conversation, but you're not willing to do that. You run to Reddit to complain about your boyfriend and get advice about how to leave him. You're a child. You should be moving back in with your mommy. I can totally see how women get trapped in these shitty marriages. I'm starting to dread the breakup more than the thought of spending the rest of my life reminding him to make his car payment, and that I need half of his electric bill, and that yes, when you mop, you absolutely have to sweep first. Sorry if this is like super rambly. I'm just feeling depressed and lost. I plan on eventually making a full post on how/when the switch. I tried typing it out yesterday, but I'm just not in the headspace for it. Edit. I think he checks Reddit somehow. He doesn't even use Reddit because his behavior today has done a 180. Very interesting. If you're reading this, let's have a chat then. Yeah, tell him that we need to talk through a Reddit post. God, you are a fucking child. How is it possible? So I guess the next step is to follow up on this, see if she ever did make that post. I left my fiance today. Here's the letter I left him. Oh, this post has been removed by the moderators of FemaleDatingStrategy. Oh, I'm sure it was too fair and balanced. That's exactly why it was removed, right? Jesus, dude. Well, I think it's maybe true that the dude could have been sneaking on her Reddit account or something like that. Occam's razor says to go with the simplest explanation, and that would be that he is actually making the efforts, and only after venting this post did she start to see it. Unfortunately, she left him anyways.
Encouraged by the harpies at Female Dating Strategy. It's not even worth working it out, queen. Just leave. You can find you someone better. Like, I don't know, man. It seems like he's trying. What exactly is the problem here? The only thing that she fucking says is, oh my god, the mask slipped. Yeah, then run away. Run home to mommy. You're obviously not ready for an adult relationship. If you're reading this, come and talk to me via Reddit. Like, ugh, you have so much work to do on yourself. You are not ready to have any sort of relationship, let alone a marriage. I guess I should be grateful because, yeah, it would not have worked out anyways. This woman is just a whole ass mess. But yeah, okay, good, whatever. She's alone now. I hope that she will spend some of that time working on herself. Oh, this is some of that good cringe, ladies and gentlemen. Let's loop it back to the main content of the channel by ending the video with a bit of diarrhea. That's what this whole subreddit has been, but this is way more direct than anything I was talking about before. I just found out that my husband is storing sealed jars of his diarrhea.
Keeping your poop in a jar till the day you come back.
Look, like I said earlier, men are curious about the world. They just explore it in different ways. Like seeing what would happen if I seal up a big jar of my own diarrhea. God, that's hilarious. I love that she hates it, honestly. I only found this out a few hours ago, and I'm not sure how to deal with this, so any advice or help is appreciated. While cleaning out the kitchen pantry, he left it in the kitchen. Oh, that's so good. I, 24 female, was dusting the top shelf, which I can't see the top of, and I noticed the clanging of jars up there. So I got out the stepladder, and up there is 14 jars filled to the brim with diarrhea. Is this real life? And sealed with lids. The consistency in the jars. Oh God, we don't need to go that far. What have I done? It ranges from like brown water to like a thick black sludge. It's called Jankum, OP. It's the only escape that he gets in this life, so let him have it. And Jankum is a real thing, if you didn't know. Look, I wasn't lying. Whole ass article about it. Purported inhalant and hallucinogen created from fermented human waste. Purported is a little sus, but maybe we're seeing the proof. The proof is in the poop, the poop ding. It was like a mixture of blended slugs, and the jars are arranged in order from the most watery to the most viscous. I love this. I only know it's diarrhea in those jars because I made the mistake of opening one. Yes, she smelled it. Hopefully this is all like a very elaborate prank or something. Or maybe the husband has like a legitimate reason. I reserve my judgment. I made the mistake of opening one, and the stench is unmistakably the same as what he leaves behind in the bathroom. The smell was so bad, I can still feel it burning the back of my throat. I only live with my husband, 42 male, and he has grim and gruesome IBSD, his words. And I'm just lost for words as to why he would poo into jars to be sealed and kept. Do I tell him what I found? Do I just get rid of them? Absolutely, you should ask him. It might be something that his doctor asked him to do, right? We have no idea how long the jars have been up there. It's a lot sillier if he was just doing this for fun, but something tells me that he wouldn't necessarily. Although, I don't know. He's probably a weird guy. 42-year-old dating a 24-year-old. Only because a 24-year-old can't quite realize just how weird he is. That's my theory anyways. Update! After having a mini mental breakdown this week after my horrific find last week, I feel that I owe you all an update. First of all, thank you wholeheartedly to all who gave me advice, encouragement, and help because I really appreciate it. I apologize for the lack of replies, but my life has been flipped upside down and I've been in panic attack mode all week. 2 days after finding my husband's stash of jarred diarrhea, I decided to ask him about it. At first, he winced and denied that there was anything up there, so I retrieved the jars, laid them on the kitchen counter, and asked him again. Only he and I live there, so he definitely put them up there, I told him. He denied that they were full of diarrhea this time, and said that he had forgotten about them, and that they were simply jars of, exotic jams gone bad. It might be durian jam. Durian smells a bit farty, doesn't it? I'm just trying to add some, like, plausible deniability. I told him to stop lying and just tell me the truth, if he was pooing into jars or not. And why he was keeping them. God damn it. This is killing me. He finally cracked and got angry at me, asking what the big deal was, and that he wasn't hurting anyone. So I threw the jars in the garbage outside. I guess he really does just like collecting his poop. It seems really weird. Is he German? Is that a thing, OP? He was not happy when I did this, and physically tried to restrain me by grabbing my wrist and hitting my side. I didn't speak to him for the rest of the day and holed up in the spare room because he had scared me. I checked the garbage later that day and the jars were gone. He had taken them out and put them somewhere else. In this moment, I know that he has chosen jars of curdled turds over his own wife. Can't a man collect his own poop in jars without having to hear yakking from the woman? It's definitely weird, but I mean, he really isn't hurting anybody by doing this. Maybe you could just ask him to not keep it in the kitchen. Maybe you could see a therapist together if it's really something that you're that concerned about. But to throw away his poop jars? Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
My aim was to get the locks changed when he went to work the next day and kick him out. Bro, you have escalated this so far. But I chickened out on that idea. I asked him to leave to give me some space, but he said he owns the house and that I live here for free. I more than pay for rent by cleaning up the house all day, washing his clothes, and cooking all of his meals. Yeah, but he pays for the food and the laundry soap and the roof that's over your head. Honestly, it seems like a pretty even exchange to me. We can have that argument in the comments, I guess, if you want. But really, female dating strategy would have it so the man pays all the rent and also comes home and does all the housework while the woman, I don't know, exists. That's good enough, right? I exist around you, but don't talk to me. Totally the vibe I get. I packed a bag throughout the next day and left for my sister's house in the night last Wednesday, catching the last bus of the night as I don't have my own mode of transport. 24, don't have a car. All right, no judgment, but do consider what you're bringing to the relationship versus what he brings to the relationship. It seems like a pretty sweet gig, honestly. You should have just let him keep collecting his diarrhea in jars. Well, this is the hill she's gonna die on. The diarrhea jar hill. Oh, good God. This is the best post we could have possibly ended on. My sister's been great in taking me in, as herself and the rest of my family, including my parents, have never liked my husband. Yeah, he's 42, you're 24. Duh. My husband has tried calling and messaging me about 100 times, but I can only ignore him right now, as my panic attack anxiety comes in waves every time he tries to contact me. I'll be filing for divorce, not just because he keeps jars of fecal goop, but because he hurt me in trying to defend them. Oh, Jesus. Why is it that big of a deal? People collect weird stuff. This is one of the weirder things that I've heard of, but I don't know, somehow I could learn to live with it. Okay, one of my spouse's idiosyncrasies is that he collects his own diarrhea in jars. But he's at least ashamed enough to keep it hidden away. You know, it's not like company comes over and they're like, look at my diarrhea jar collection. Oh, God. There are possessions of mine at the house which I can't go back for, so I'll have to send my brother and brother-in-law for me to get these. Apologies for the rambling update. There's a lot more to add. It's just that my brain is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute, and I'm just glad that I feel safer now. Yeah, those diarrhea jars could be explosive. You better be careful. TLDR, I left my husband after finding jars of his shit and him refusing to get rid of them and hurting me when I tried to get rid of them. Laying your hands on your partner, that is never a good look. That shows a lack of respect in the relationship, and yeah, the relationship is essentially over at that point. If that was her reasoning, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But she's trying to use the diarrhea jars as some sort of like additional shield, and I really don't get it. Maybe it's the fact that he was hiding this from her. She didn't know this about him. So the question arises, like, what other stuff could he be hiding? Maybe he's a secret axe murderer. All just because he likes keeping his shit in jars. Like I said, he's obviously ashamed enough to keep them hidden away. It's probably some sort of undiagnosed mental disorder. And instead of helping out the breadwinner, she's just decided that it's too hard of a thing to deal with and she's just gonna run away, which really does sum up everything about female dating strategy, does it not? It's a big jar of diarrhea. The video ended up probably a lot longer than I initially expected, honestly. I went in, I'm like, I don't know, we'll do 30, 40 minutes. It'll probably get cut down to 20. Here I am sitting with another fucking 1 hour plus episode. Oh well, I guess I got a little bit sucked in, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed it, at least on some level. It's probably not as laughable just because, you know, it's not full of silly memes or anything like that. It's like people legitimately trying to give advice, but the advice that they are giving is just so transparently terrible that I'm pretty sure anybody could see right through and be like, yeah, the only person that would tell you that this is a smart move to make is the person that wrote it, right? But I guess for now, that's a wrap. You guys can let me know if you want to see some more. Like, comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy the video. I would appreciate that indeed. We also got a lot of links down in the description. Plugs, playlists, podcasts, if that's what you're into. My social medias as well. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Oh, and my Patreon. My gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them all Jerry much, as I do every episode. So thank you, Darth Thomas the Degenerate, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, Conrad Ingy, Mawire Jerry. Hey, Mr. ReddX, sir, I think I'm in trouble. Landlord Jerry's goons are sleeping on the floor with ketchup around their neck. Did you do it? Did you put put the ketchup and you didn't bring any tendies. Captain Cloud Jerry, Hong Kong, Destiny Piper, Aaron Jerry, Twisted Child, Broken Logic, Cinema Susie, Farad Lang Sign, Irari feels unwanted but keeps on fighting anyways, as we all do. Never give up. Silent Revolver, Jerry, the original Jerry. Jerry, son of Jersey, Jerry, Bill, Gym Junkies. Almost got it. Jerish Kitsune, Satori, 211 Jerry, a jury of jubilantly juggler Jerrys, a Justy Jargonian Jerry, nailed it. Alunia Demonista, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Baby Jerry, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blip Bloop Jerry, Catholic Jerry, Commander J Tank, Confederate Jew is going to the Ukraine. Good luck. Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dr. Lark, Submergent Jewel, Frozen Over Studios, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, I can't help falling in love with Jerry. I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating. It's got kind of like a rock bent to it. That's fine, right? Irish Pirate, top of the morning to ya. Irradiated Jam, Itchy Nuts, just scratching, bro. A pimp named J Crisp, JM Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk. Jerry was a race car driver, but round 3 was a failure. I hit the NOS button, a bunch of Jerry verbs fell out of my tailpipe. Yeah, that happens, I guess. Jerry's Buick Riviera, John Hero, John, Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt, KJW Kajow, Crowhey, Landlord Jerry, there he is, Legitimate Girth, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, like and subscribe. Lady Nix, Marble Jerry, tired of all these underscores, Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Factor, Needless King 89, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Steve hit Jerry with a bag of marbles after catching him cheating with Tom. Scandal. Paragon Soul, Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Ramtide Lacrimates, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Saucy Octopus, Scarlet's Kevin, Sergeant Gay Cop, Bringer of the Law. He used to be Teddy the Police. He changed it up. Good job. Silo Imp, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Bagloo, Tato Ferret, 10-Ton Monster, the Italian Greyhound Dino, the Littlest Who, Token Trans Queen Jerry. When I'm done, half of humanity will exist, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Thanos! What a lovely quote! The one true Fusky! Trying to find another marble to get back to the real world! You probably don't want to blow into that balloon knot. Unbusy B, V3 Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, Wikitech, Wilmax, Zephyr the Gargoyle, or just Clay too, that's fine. I'm on a pilgrimage to become a Jerry. Wish me luck! You can do it, I believe. Comrade Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is though. Redwind, Nagaviper, Side Jerry, the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, third of clubs, one like Jerry gives ReddX all the tenny coins in the world. Yeah, and they still ain't worth that much. But don't worry, give me your investment. It's not gonna go to waste, probably. A normal Jerry, Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, is Tom. Admiral T-Tank, Emerald Alder, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerryzilla, Babsy-Coon, Bartender Kearley, Blue Dubs, Broken Spine Horseradish, Cake Jerry, the original, different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Locked, Corporal Admiral of Prison's Furry Worry Woo Jerry, Cryptides, Dayton does, but he needs our help. Come on, Jerry buddy, clap your hands if you believe. The Fawn Jerry, creator of colorful click clacks, Dopamine Dangerous, Electrical Funic, Ghost of Alpha, Heeknot, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry Solomon, Janitor Jerry, Jeffrey, Geralt of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Weird Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on, Jerry Oldo Rivera, Jerry Bean, Jerry Roxers, Jerry Role Playing Game, Judge Jerry and Executioner, Keaton Tales, Kid Marvelous, King Tom, Kidsikin, Life of Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Chia, Seedy, maybe next time Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, Raptor Art, ReddX, Help SDI Jerry and Jerry Toretto need Teddy coins to rebuild their cars. Well, I have them all. Okay, you can have some. She's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew with a big surprise. Snary, that's Snom Jerry, if you didn't know. Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry Ton. Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, not really. The X Card, To Infinite Jerry and Beyond. Two the Fish Jerry, Unfortunate Headband Jerry, Stronger than Vegeta. Unfortunate Jerry spoke to Candace and it doesn't fit. Sorry, I'm such a piece of shit. Tom promised Jerry swears. Oh, no bad, Jerry. Tom, be good boy. No swears. Just facts, toy size. Go ahead and look it up. Another ReddX video. Yeah, boy. Also, thank you to my $1 patrons. Beautiful people that they are. I had to knock it out faster because this list is just growing and growing. It's so crazy. But I do hope that you will add your name to the list if you can afford to do so. If you can't, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you will come on back tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to wash your hands, keep yourself safe out there, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy, like watching another ReddX video, or like not browsing female dating strategy. That's a thing that I used to enjoy before this video. Anyways, I will see you in the next one. Thank you as always, friends. Always remember you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.